Hey guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at creating and exporting the alpha mask to use in Blender for texturing to blend between the two terrain types. Without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, what you're going to want to do is just erase the mask clear. That was just for visualization purposes. And to speed things up, for if you have to open up the file next time, you're going to want to drop down a file cache. I'm going to set the name to just %os.bgo.sc, which is the operating handle. So I'm going to change this to terrain output. I'm only going to save the current frame, and I'm going to save this to disk. Now once it's saved to disk, you want to hit load from disk and reload geometry, so that every time you open and close the file, you're just loading this file instead of calculating the entire height field. Now what you're going to want to do is drop down a height field mask by feature. And you're going to want to set the type to add, so you can add the existing map that we had back in the slump. Set the smooth radius to 1. You're going to want to invert this mask. You don't want to mask by slope, you're going to want to mask by the occlusion. Wait for that to calculate. Now basically what the occlusion does, if you look at the differences, the occlusion is in edges and shapes and curves like that. Basically think of it like ambient occlusion. So what you're going to want to do is I set the minimum amount to around 0.7. So that really builds up the snow there, even builds it around the peaks. I'll set the view distance for the quality down to 100. I don't know why, that just gave me a better result. And what I did was I dropped down another height field mask by feature. This one I set to add as well. And then what I did was I did not mask by the slope, I masked by the curvature. So I calculated the curvature. Now the curvature is a little different from ambient occlusion. I'll show you in a second here. Now the trick is to delete these two nodes here. Move this all the way across. So you have a gradient from basically from 0 to 1. Now if you look, that looks nice, but there's not a lot of detail. So I found a way to get to details, set the max curvature to a low value of like 0.2. Now if you look, we have these little seams and we have all of these peaks here. So the red, if you couldn't tell, will be snow, and the white will be the rock peeking out. The last thing you're going to want to do, drop down a height field output. This time you're going to want to set it to textures. So I set it to terrain_alpha.tga. It's a single channel image. It only needs to store black and white values, and it's fine to be a 16-bit floating point. Set that to 4K. Now for the red channel, the single channel, you want that to be the mask. You want to auto remap it between 0 and 1. Now hit save to disk.